The city is a living organism. It lives by logic that it is not necessarily conscious of itself, yet the city is also an object of governance. It grows according to laws that are established rationally from without. How is it possible to govern a self-developing organism? A megacity makes this a mega challenge. Moscow. The 4th Moscow Urban Forum, Manezh Central Exhibition Hall. The theme of this year's forum is the drivers of city development. The forum gathered specialists and experts in various fields of urbanism to discuss issues relating to this topic. After all, interdisciplinary talks form the core of a forum of this kind. Specifically, the forum was attended by the mayors of Mumbai, Budapest, Ankara, Strasbourg, Hong Kong, Bogota, Bangkok, Tel Aviv and Singapore. The official partner city of the forum, Singapore, is an example of how a densely populated Asian city can be converted into a super modern megacity. By studying the experience of these cities and other megacities, Moscow is developing its own unique development strategy. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin believes that the key to the success of any strategy is the alignment of the activities of government, business and society, while putting the interests of residents in the lead.
The main driver are people and people's need and their way of life. Drivers at city level are really what is the flow of our resources, how are we using our resources and how we are disposing our resources.
If future generations could travel in a time machine and come today here, they would accuse us of being very irresponsible. We have to think more about our grandchild's and about humanity in 50 years, in 60 years.
To connect fields that normally are separated. We have to connect ecology with mobility, with also, of course, development, economic development. We are practically all living inside the urban space, so there is not outside, and we have to make this urban space a renewable resource.
The forum featured a presentation of the analytical review, the Strategic Master Plan, a tool for managing the future. Unlike a general plan, a master plan includes flexible strategic concepts that take into account the realities of the city and the opinions of its inhabitants. Alexei Muratov, the head of the analytical research team, believes that a master plan is a real tool for managing the future. The forum included presentations and discussions concerning various aspects of Moscow's architectural and urban planning policy. In particular, Marat Husnulin, deputy mayor of Moscow, pointed out that the new urban planning policy should look at Moscow and the Moscow metropolitan area as one, which means creating a single Moscow transport hub and forming a polycentric megacity. A notable event of the forum was the conclusion of the tender for development of the Moskva embankments. The winner of the tender was the Meganom Architect Bureau, under the direction of Yuri Grigoryan. At the forum, the project was presented by the expert urbanist and designer Edouard Moreau. As planned by the Moscow government, the project should be fully implemented by 2035.
There is a urgency in the start to understanding green spaces, again, not as ornamental but as performative, not as trees and planting, but as kind of micro machines within the city.
Coordination is the key. How can we incorporate through design, and how can we bring spaces for collaboration through design between decision makers, the finance sector, the private sector, the public sector, and the people.
In order to maintain its new international status and strengthen its reputation as a global city, Moscow must restructure its already developed urban space, implement innovative projects, and ensure the harmonious development of the new Moscow territories. In his speech to the forum, Igor Shuvalov, first Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, emphasized that Moscow went through immense transformations in the 20th century. And in recent years, the capital of Russia has become a completely different city and an international center of attraction.
Cities are in competition. They always compete against each other. Moscow competes against St. Petersburg. Moscow competes against London and other cities in Europe. This, I would say, the major driver would be for cities to constantly improve themselves, make cities more comfortable, retain the talent, and have a stronger brand.
The focus on the digital economy and innovation, connecting the new businesses and human capital around technology and innovation and entrepreneurship is going to be critical for the success of cities in the future.
Greg Clark, Senior Fellow at the Urban Land Institute, presented a report to the forum on the growing role of the world's megacities on the global arena and their increased contribution to the global economy. He also added that Moscow needs to work to further promote the city's brand. The conference, Government and Citizens, Technologies for Cooperation, held as part of the forum, was devoted to new technology solutions that help establish direct contact between active citizens, business, and the government. The Moscow government sees great potential in crowdsourcing projects. It is a great opportunity to engage inhabitants in discussions regarding changes in the city's setup. Examples of successful initiatives include the Our City project, in which more than 200 ideas were selected for implementation, the My Public Services Office and Our Routes projects, and many more. Anastasia Rakova, Deputy Mayor, Chief of Staff to the Mayor and Government of Moscow, told listeners about the Active Citizen project, owing to which a new class of citizens involved in the affairs of the city has been actively forming in recent years. This feedback from inhabitants enables the authorities to consider the opinions of Muscovites and increases community involvement in city processes.
Innovation is one key driver of city development. The great thing about cities is that you have smaller number of people, obviously, than a whole country, and so you can test and pilot and experiment different projects.
I just spent half an hour with the deputy mayor, and she was showing me the crowdsourcing projects, and I think in many ways that Moscow is far ahead of most Western cities.
Important issues and events of the business part of the forum included the further development of Moscow transport system, an assessment of the effectiveness of urban cultural programs, the infrastructure and land development of a next-generation megacity, the fight for the citizen, and the Conference of the Cities of Russia, where the experts discussed various models for the development of Russian cities and shared the best practices in governance, urban planning, and the development of a more livable environment. During the final session, Deputy Mayor Marat Husnulin emphasized that Moscow is a very strong city and no economic problems can stop its further development, because the main driver for Moscow and Russia as a whole are the people who are interested in changes in strategic planning and, most importantly, are willing to participate in the whole process. For the second year in a row, the forum hosted the Urban Festival, attended by more than 9,000 people. The festival presented a varied program developed under the direction of Strelka Institute for Media, Architecture and Design, Afisha Publishing House, the Polytechnical Museum, Do-It-Yourself Urban Action Marathon, and Beat Film Festival. The educational program of the festival included public lectures and Urban Talks expert conference.
Creativity, initiative, entrepreneurship, risk-taking, and the ability and willingness to work very, very hard.
If you guys tackle all these emerging issues and put forward quality of life, you're going to keep being one of the best cities in Europe to live.